Greetings everyone, this is Amara, my channel Eyes Wide Shut, where I talk about politics and current affairs. I also have another channel which is called Spiritual Echelons, where I look at the metaphysical, spirituality, religion, UFOs and all of those kinds of things. Now listen, there's something that's called the Internet of Things. The Internet of Things, the IoT. Now the Internet of Things is where all of these devices that you have, your telephones, your smart telephones, your smart computer, your smart TV, your smart microwave, your smart meters and ovens and all the rest of it, they can now speak to each other. They can all communicate with each other, yeah, through this wireless device. They're all wireless devices, smart meters. They connect through your Wi-Fi. Now, I've been many times sat looking at something on my computer screen, and I got my phone down by the side of me, and I noticed my phone keeps lighting up. And I'm thinking, why is my phone lighting up like that? Yeah? I can't understand why the phone's lighting up. I change and I watch something else, another video, and then the phone suddenly just starts lighting up. Yeah? Sometimes I've got my television on, but it's on neutral. It's not on a channel. But every time I'm changing something on the computer screen, I notice that the monitor lights up on the TV. Why is this? Why is this? There's another couple of times I've noticed that the Digibox I have, which is a Virgin box, right, which was a Virgin box, I say, because I no longer have Virgin, but it started recording something, and it's nothing that I've personally recorded or my partner's recorded. I said, do you record this certain program? And she's saying, no. I said, well, I never recorded it, so why is it the Digibox I start to record a certain program? And this happened quite a few times. So in the end, we got fed up with a certain company. I shouldn't have mentioned their name in the first place. Got fed up with a certain company, and we asked for them to disconnect. So anyway, they come round, right? One of their engineers came round, and I said to him, something weird, every time I look at this monitor on my Digibox, it keeps coming on and recording things that I didn't request or my partner requested. He turned around and said, like, well, what it is, because there's algorithms that's running through the Digibox, it picks up on things that you like and it makes suggestions and it records things that it thinks that you may like. What? It picks up watching your habits, yeah, your TV habits, the things that you're watching, and then recommending things that it thinks that you may like, and then starts recording. I thought we had some kind of ghost or something in the house, Seriously, I thought we had some kind of ghost or something, because I was thinking, boy, sometimes this box just comes on. I'm sat there in the middle of the night, watching some program, and the box is recording. I'm thinking, why? I didn't put anything on to record. My partner didn't put on anything to record. So why is this box just suddenly recording? Makes you feel a bit paranoid, because you think to yourself, am I getting off my head? Did I put something to record on, but I didn't realize it? Yeah? But when you start speaking to your partner and you find out that they never recorded anything either, then it's obvious that the monitor, right, this Digibox is actually watching you and recording things. Another thing as well, sometimes I sit there, right, on my television. I got my television on, and the television just comes on. I don't know if any of you ever had that. If you have, please let me know. You sat there and then all of a sudden the television just comes on. I can understand the television going off, because if, say, you haven't used a TV for about an hour or something like that, yeah, it's got a built-in device that turns the television off to save power. But turning the television on, since I'm not coming to my living room from a kitchen, the television is on. When I went into the kitchen, when I come into the living room, the television's on. The television's on. I'm thinking, boy, who turned on that television? I'm the only person in there. So what is that television coming on? Sometime I'm stood by my microwave. Right, the microwave's on. Not physically on, it's on standby. And it makes this noise. Bleep, bleep. When I walk too close to it. And then when I walk away again, you don't hear the noise. Then I walk towards the microwave again, and I hear bleep, bleep. So it's censoring something. It's picking up my motions, yeah? When I'm moving. So it's obviously telling me, like, do you want to use me? Do you want to turn me on and cook something? That happens so frequently. Man, the devices they got, man, and the technology out there right now is so sophisticated. Any of you got this thing here? LED lights. Any of you got these LED lights? Some LED lights, not all of them, some of them have cameras inside of them. They have sensors inside of them. Trust what I'm telling you. How do I know this? Because I have done my own research. I've watched certain videos on YouTube and on some other channels. Yeah. And people talking about LED lights, how some of them have cameras inside of them that they're sensitive to people's movements and then watching them, following them around. LED lights, not all of them, some of them have sensors inside of them. I got a phone here. It's an old phone. People's gonna laugh. Nokia. It's an old phone. Yeah. I've had another phone. I can't remember the manufacturer name, but as I said, when I'm sat down by the computer, sometimes the phone just lights up all of a sudden, and there's no explanation as to why the phone's lighting up. But now I know why, because all of these devices are all interconnected. This phone here is not a smartphone, but it still picks up when I'm using the computer or if I'm on the TV, right? It lights up. So it's tracking my movements. The Internet of Things. Now let me read you this article. Right? Do you think stricter policies could be helped to make IoT, that's Internet of Things, feel less intrusive? Or do you feel that the nature of technology itself is the issue? Actually, in fact, that's not the that's one of the questions that I asked. This original question was, what is the Internet of all things? Its positive and negative benefits. You might be thinking of the Internet of Things, a network of connected devices that communicate and share data without human intervention. Without human intervention. This includes everything from smart home gadgets like thermostats and security cameras to industrial sensors and even wearable technology. So those smartwatches that you got on, yeah, them smartwatches, those devices are probably monitoring everything that you're doing, recording everything that you're doing. And when you're sleeping, it's actually probably picking up your rhythm, your body's rhythm. Right? Let me read on. Positive benefits of IoT, Internet of Things. Convenience and automation. IoT simplifies life by automating tasks. Smart homes, for example, allow you to control lights, appliances, and security systems remotely. Improve efficiency. Businesses use IoT for predictive maintenance, inventory tracking, and workflow optimization, reducing the waste and downtime. Health and safety enhancement. Wearable health monitors help track vitals, detect abnormality, and alert medical professions when needed. Smart cities. Smart cities, don't get me on that one. Don't get me on that one. I've done quite a lot of videos on smart cities, and they're coming to us soon. They've already started to implement them in parts of England, such as Newcastle, Manchester, London, Bristol, yeah, and Edinburgh, and some other cities. In America, Los Angeles. You check what's been going on in Los Angeles and these wildfires. Los Angeles in 2028 is supposed to have the next Olympic Games, right? They're trying to create smart cities there. Let me read on. Smart cities. Traffic management, waste collection, energy efficiency. Energy efficiency can be enhanced using IoT connected infrastructure. Environmental benefits. Sensors can monitor pollution, reduce energy consumption, and support sustainable farming practices. But the negatives of IoTs. Security risks. More connected devices mean more potential vulnerabilities, leading to data breaches, hacking, unauthorized access. Private issues. IoT devices collect large amounts of personal data, raising concerns about surveillance and misuse. Dependence on connectivity. If the internet goes down, many IoT systems like smart locks or automated factories may stop functioning. You see what happened in Portugal and Spain recently? The airports got locked down, traffic lights wouldn't work, right? Because there was power cuts. There. These power cuts, may they have been done deliberately, or could it also be sun flares? Because there's been a lot of sun flares over the last year or so. Was this knocking out devices? We depend so much on technology now. That's if something major was to happen, we're not prepared for it. We're not ready for it. Everything's on our phones, yeah, on our smartphones. Right, cost complexity. Implementing IoT requires investment, and maintaining these systems can be complex for businesses and individuals. Job displacement. It's another thing I've been talking about. Job displacement. As we become more and more reliant on computers, as computers start doing the things that we can do, and robots also, and avatars start doing the things that we can do, we will start to lose our jobs. And some people are walking around in shops and businesses, and they're not paying any attention to the fact that the people that's working in these shops, yeah, the people working on the tools, they may lose their jobs because people are going to automated services. They don't give unless it's happening to them personally. If they start to lose their own jobs personally, then they'll start to notice or take heed of what's going on. Until it affects people personally, they don't give a flying monkeys. But it's going to come to you soon too. You rely so much on these devices, and these devices are slowly taking our jobs. Let me go on. What are your thoughts? Do you think IoT is more of a blessing or a burden? That's what Copilot asked me. And I replied, I'm not sure what I think, but it appears a bit intrusive. And then Copilot says to me, that's a completely fair perspective, a completely fair perspective. The idea of having everyday devices constantly collecting and transmitting data can definitely feel invasive. When IoT is integrated into homes, cities, workplaces, it raises concerns about personal privacy and how much control individuals actually have over their own data. Some people argue that the benefits outweigh the risk, especially when IoTs improve convenience and efficiency. Yes, improved convenience and efficiency. We're becoming too comfortable. We're becoming too lazy. We're letting these devices take over our jobs and our everyday living. Too lazy to get them close the curtains, so you buy some electronic device to close the curtains. Too lazy to turn the television over yourself, so you got some automatic remote control. Too lazy to see what's in your fridge and what's running down in your fridge, so you got some kind of monitor on your fridge that tells you you're low on ice cream, you're low on butter, you're low on sugar, you're low on milk. I don't know how many people put sugar in their fridge, but I think you get the gist of what I'm trying to say, right? We're becoming too comfortable, too lazy with this technology. Let me read on. So some people think that the benefits outweigh the risks, especially when IoTs improve convenience and efficiency. Others worry that technology is growing faster than regulations can keep up, leading to potential misuse or exploitation. I need some water. Throat's a bit dry. People, we need to seriously think technology is good. Technology is good, but at the point of infringing on every aspect of our lives, yeah, till we become so dependent on it, and it's making decisions for us, taking away our ability to think for ourselves, make our own decisions, then what would be the point in existence? Let me read on. Do you think stricter policies could help make IoT feel less intrusive, or do you feel that the nature of technology itself is the issue? This is what Copilot asked me. Right, even things like digital streaming services offered by Virgin and Sky recalls programs that they think you may like. Smart TVs also seem to turn themselves on and off. That appears intrusive, don't you think, Copilot? That's why I asked it. You're absolutely right not to notice these things. Sorry, you are absolutely right to notice those things. Smart technology can sometimes feel like it's making decisions for us rather than with us. Streaming services using algorithms to suggest and even pre-record content based on viewing habits can blur the line between convenience and control. Eventually, we'll have no control because of our convenience. We're getting too comfortable. When these things start to take over, eventually you will have no control. And these things are getting smarter and smarter. This technology, the algorithms that guide these robots, and avatars. And these smart devices, eventually, if we're not careful, instead of these things working alongside us, they'll start to take us over. Be careful. Right, where am I? It's meant to enhance user experience, but can also raise concerns about how much companies monitor personal preferences. And as for smart TVs turning themselves on or off, that can feel eerie. Some models use motion detection, voice recognition, or power-saving features, which could explain this behavior. But if a device is doing something unexpected, it's worth checking the settings. Sometimes hidden options allow companies to collect data or update software in the background. I've sat there in my bed at night and the television isn't on, but the red light is on. You got two lights there. You got a red light and a blue light. And the red light is usually when something is watching or recording. And it feels quite uncomfortable. It feels quite eerie. These devices now have the ability to actually record everything that you're doing in your own home. Hidden devices. TVs now, a lot of them have cameras in them. They've had this ability since the 1940s, probably even before that. But with the American NSA, they had the ability to be able to do this, to watch you from your home and watch what you're doing, watching you through the television. You don't believe me? Go check it out. And also watch a film called Enemy of the State, featuring Will Smith. Enemy of the State. Do you know that there's over 50,000 computers underground? And when you're on your telephone, if you use any keywords, it starts recording your conversation. You don't believe me? Go check the information out for yourself. The NSA has had this ability to do this and has been doing this since the Second World War. Let me read on. And as smart TVs turn themselves on and off, right, I just read that bit, right. Do you feel these intrusive, right? Do you feel these intrusions are something we just have to accept as part of modern tech? Or do you think there should be a stricter control on how companies manage users' data? This is what Copilot was asking me. Is it true or false that some LED lights can record our environment? This is what I asked Copilot, and this is the reply. It's true that some LED lights can be used for environmental monitoring, but they typically record in the way cameras do. But they don't typically record, but they don't typically record in the ways that cameras do. Certain smart LED systems can detect changes in temperature, humidity, or air quality, and even movement using embedded sensors. Need some water. Using embedded sensors. Wow. However, standard LED lights used in homes and offices don't have built-in recording capabilities yet. I'll say again, yet. It's coming though. There has been concerns about privacy with smart lighting systems. especially those integrated with IoT networks. Some advanced models can collect data on room occupancy. Some can collect information, collect data on room occupancy, so know where you are in a room. Man. Or adjust brightness based on detected activity, but they don't capture audio or video. Are you worried about privacy risk with smart devices, or just curious about LED technology and how it's evolving? This is what Copilot is asking me, so it can collect more data. Because anything I put into Copilot, I can't change. All that data is going somewhere. Okay? I can't even ask questions without it surveilling the information that I'm putting in there. Where is that information going? We are becoming so surveilled in everything, every aspect of our life, even inside our own homes. Forget about outside, in our own homes. TVs and digiboxes making decisions for us. What things we might like to watch, recording our conversations. There's people who got Alexa. You ask Alexa questions. Where is that information going? How does that thing know how to answer you? Where is that info going? Is it going to satellites? Is it listening to your conversation whilst you're in a room? Are you aware of that? Are you aware of what Alexa is collecting on you? You look at your smart TV, everything that you type into your computer or your smart TV, that information is going somewhere. When you get back onto the computer, if there's a holiday that you've been looking at, or a pair of trousers, or a blouse or something, next thing, some information will be brought up onto screen. You sort of thinking, hang on a minute, that's a bit weird. I was looking at something like that yesterday. Every aspect of our lives, excuse me, people, every aspect of our lives is being watched, monitored, governed. And soon, if we don't watch for things, we'll have very little control of our lives. This is Amara with another video, over and out. Thank you.